You brought in reinforcements.
Yeah, got a new body. Obviously, good to add a shooter and another veteran that's been around and played as much as he has. Passed all the physicals and everything yesterday. I was ready by today. That's good.
You mentioned been around. Is that a guy, okay, he misses a day or two of training camp, but can step in pretty quick and pick things up, having not been with you also?
That's not a concern at all. Like I said, a veteran guy. He's been there, done that. Missing a day or two of camp isn't a big deal for him. Ray out-coached him in New York, so we had some good discussions already with him to get him up to speed, terminology-wise, and pick up fine. No problem.
Does it say something about maybe the change of this program where it's now a place a veteran would choose to go as opposed to developing young guys as it's been in the past?
Yeah, I think he sees what we're trying to do. We had a good talk with him a few days ago, but to your point, he had options to go to different places, and we were looking for that, for what he brings. And we told him that yesterday, myself and with him. Appreciate you trusting in us and wanting to come.
Coach, 3 days into training camp, you mentioned it a couple times that you want to see Jalen become more of an all-around player. Have you seen that through these first 3 days?
Yeah, he's trying to do the right thing. It's, like I said, habits are not going to happen overnight, but the scoring mentality he has, we're talking about his ability to get to where he wants on the court. So now it's making the right reads. And so we've got three guys who've done their job, get off the ball, and then buy in on the defense again. So we're constantly harping on that, and him as well as the rest of the team.
Is one of those habits consistency? Because one of the things with Jalen, he showcased flashes to be like a ball handler or facilitator, but it always would come and go. Is that one of the challenges that, when you talk about breaking bad habits?
Yeah, that's the main thing. Do the things you do great and improve on your weaknesses. And so it's not just Jalen, but the rest of the guys as well. So, like I said, we're kind of going backwards with some of the stuff we're doing. We'll scale it back in the next few days and going leading into our games. But then Alfie, different young guys all have to learn some things that we're trying to do and improve in certain areas. And they're all getting better already in 2 days.
You've talked about wanting to make Jalen more well-rounded and kind of using him maybe more off-ball as a cutter, as a slasher. How do you balance putting the ball in his hands and letting him have those reps as a playmaker, but also, having him get those off-ball reps as well?
I think you look at the people we brought in. Obviously, Fred is great at doing his job and getting guys involved. Alfie can initiate some. And then we want multiple handlers, guys to rebound and go. And we have guys like Kabari getting out, Tari and all those guys as well, and so Dylan as well. And so he's not going to have the ball in his hands as much as he has in previous years, but there are ways to utilize his skill set, and as well as keep him aggressive when he does have the ball. And so, like I said, it's kind of equal opportunity offensively, but trying to find where he can pick his spots as well.
And how's he kind of responding to that change so far?
It's been good. It's different for him, but to have a guy that can set him up and get him easy shots the way Fred has so far, I think he sees that as a benefit.
He said the term little things like 5 times the other day, and I'm just guessing that might have come from you. What are those little things that he can add to his game or do better that you'd like to see? And do you even consider them little things?
Yeah, I mean, it's not just having a scoring mentality every time. It's all the other things that help you win games. So being in the right place defensively, making the right play offensively, rebounding, defending, and so all those things add up. So we know he can score the basketball. And like I said, we want to improve him in the other areas while keeping him efficient, making him more efficient as far as the score.
Kind of looking forward to the preseason game coming up. I know normally the rotation is kind of all over the place first few preseason games, but with new players and new coaching staff, do you plan on having more of a regular rotation, kind of mirroring what you're going to have during the regular season?
We're still deciding. We've looked at quite a bit of different lineups here in our scrimmages, and we want to see who can play well together. And so, depending on what we want to do in that game alone, we may start a certain lineup and then go to a certain lineup in the second half, as well as finish the game. So, undecided right now. We'll tinker with a lot of different lineups and different looks, but we're getting a good idea of the first few days who plays well together.
You talk about the little things that Jalen has to get better at, especially on the offensive end. How much of that is the kind of the homework, doing the film before stepping onto the court versus the actual reps of getting the practice in on the actual basketball court?
Yeah, it's all around. It's a little bit of everything. I think he's improved as far as a student of the game, and he's asking for film and wants to sit down and watch a lot. So he watches all his minutes and watches the practices and scrimmages and all that. Then the work ethic part on the court is. And I think this summer he took a big step as far as professionalism, being with USA basketball, being around some of the high-level players he worked out with out in California. So he's taken a step as far as that in his approach, and that'll carry on this season.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it.